right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Kal Halayim Laya Hawa, Bahashim Yahawashai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. All right, double honors to our teachers, apostles, great millstone, where we learn this truth. Peace and salutations unto the Most High's elect. All right. So it's kind of like a little foggy day, you know, a little rain a little bit. So I had to, you know, I decided to come down here to the Seaport. You know, I ain't come down here in a while, so you know, it's a decent little area. You know, a lot of tech and all this stuff. A lot of, you know, Esau invested a lot of money in this area. You know, with his ill-gotten riches. You know, so this is like a little uppity part of the city, you know, but you know, I had to end up finding, I guess they closed this place down right here, the arts museum down here, so they get a little covering because it's bad out here today, but you know, getting right to the point, man, you know, here it is. The Most High is about to bring the end of this serpent, this crooked devil, you know. Most High is closing the breaches, you know, on this devil. The Lord said he showed favor to the wicked, you know, but now he's withdrawing his favor that he showed to the wicked, you know. So he showed favor to the so-called white man, but now the Most High is withdrawing his hand from the protection that he gave to Cain, going back to Genesis, you know, where he said that if a man touched Cain, that he would be pursued, the sword will pursue him, you know. So now Cain's being withdrawn. Cain, now the Most High is exposing Cain, the so-called white man, and he's taking away all this mirth that he got. Like, you know, like this is mirth right here. You know, Esau got mirth. You know, all these boats owned by so-called white people. You know, all this owned by, you know, whitey. You know, Edom. You know, this is wealth right here, down here. You know, this is wealth. You know, devil, he deals with, you know, real estate, and he stole this land from us. You know, that this is where he enacts his buildings. The Lord said he would build, but I would throw down. So, you know, when you see all this is multi-millions worth of dollars right here. You know, and Esau, he knows how to squeeze the people. You know, into moving into these big-time buildings. Like that right there is a residential building. You know. And that right there is an insurance fraud building where they do insurance fraud. So insurance is like fraud, man. If you deal with insurance, you're robbing the people, because you're paying $500 a month for insurance, man. Which they never even have to do anything. They never have to, unless you get into an accident, they never pay. So they're stealing your money. Premium $5,000 a month. A year. Divided by 12 months, then they give you $3,000 for 6 months, depending on if you Jake or not, you know, or if you whitey. If you the devil, you know, they give you, you know, you get tax breaks, you know, you get all kind of benefits, you know. These people, these companies, you know, they feed off of Jake, off of so-called Negro Latino in America on the sign. That's how they build their wealth, you know, off of scamming Jake. That's how these devils got all these riches. Now, that's why the Lord prepared them for the sword, because by riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. You know. So it says Psalms chapter 9 and verse 15 says, the heathen are sunk down in the pit which they made, and the net which they hid is their foot taken, their own foot taken. The Lord Yahweh by Shimei Shai is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Selah. For the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations shall forget the Most High. That's right. So the wicked will be turned into hell, you know. But the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed, you know. And the Lord is executing judgment on this place. That's why this place falling. Like the mirth of the land is gone. These devils in our kingdom, we're gonna be partying. Like this is supposed to be like the nicest part of the city. Like right around here, this is where you really want to be. Like one of them penthouses right there. You're not really like all the way down inside of the city, but you actually like you right next to the water. You go come down here, deal with your boat. You know, bring your women down here. You know what I'm saying? And you know, deal. here it is. You got like you're not in the hustle. Like the city's over there, you can still get to the city. The airport is right there. Like this, that's the exclusive property right there. But like that's like the hot real estate property. If you living down there in the city, that's fucked up. A fucked up condition living down there, unless you in one of them high rises. But this is like they just recently built these this side. But the Lord said what? That the heathen are sucked down the pit which they made, and He took the mirth from them. So this place right here is dead. You know, like I mean it's a Monday, but in our kingdom every day is gonna be a celebration. You know, every day is gonna be in our kingdom every day we're gonna be celebrating, man. Every day is gonna be a festive event. Every day you're gonna wake up with 100 women, you know, and it ain't gonna be a thing, man. You know, it's not gonna be a thing. It's you know, this kingdom is just doom and gloom. You know, it was good back in the 50s, 60s, 40s. That's when everybody was happy. Esau was happy, really. Jake was always under the bondage and the curse, but everybody was doing good. You know, the people had these manufacturing jobs. See, America don't produce nothing no more. It's all exported from other countries, namely China. That's why it says in 2 Esdras 16 that she has been partaker of the hope of Babylon, the whore. 2 Esdras 15. Asia, thou been partaker of the hope of Babylon. I think it's 16. 1546, my bad. It says, and thou Asia, thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and thou art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her. Yeah, this you go to China, it's like a bigger version of this right here. Like they're building thousand foot towers like nothing, you know. America, they ain't really building that many skyscrapers no more. Like I be subscribed to these engineering channels because I was always like intrigued by engineering and you know, architecture and all that, because it was like going back to that movie with Adam Sandler. It was it's Click. I was watching as a kid. He was like an architect, and then he fast forward his life, and then he ended up destroying his life because he skipped all the good parts, going through the journey, which that's a lesson in of itself. You know, because you gotta go through the journey, you know, the story to get to the end. But he fast forwarded. But anyways, he was an architect, so ever since then I always wanted to be like an architect, you know. But you know, the Lord has other plans. But hey, that's the spirit though. They're building something over there, right? You know, and they gotta drop the plans for. They gotta drop the plans to build that, right? But anyways, the point is that they don't build nothing here anymore, right? Esau is this exporter now, so these jobs are done. So the mirth of the land is gone. Here it is. These people are having a hard time finding, you know, saying their substance, their jobs. You know, Esau is taking away. You know, everything's now automated. You got AI. Now you got the wealth being sucked out of the middle class, you know, because the mirth of the land is gone. The only people that can afford being down here is the elite, you know. The only people that can afford being down here because the Most High put the spirit on his devil to, you know, show his horns, you know, through all his policies, gentrification, you know, and the class system that he set up, which all the heathen deal with class systems, as they call caste system, CASTE. It's all like a caste system, which the elite rule at the top, and they put the squeeze on the lower, you know, on the poor. But that's why it says 2 Esdras 15:47, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her. The Chinese, they take onto the devil, you know, and that's why they're gonna go down too, you know, because they do everything according to the so-called white man, the way he does it, you know. So it says, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thyself, thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which they have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her and is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore said the Most High, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, the sword, pestilence, to waste thy house with destruction and desolation. That's right. So this place is gonna be hit up with destruction, desolation, but also the Chinese people. They're gonna get hit up with destruction, desolation too, because when we put them in slavery as well, because all them that devour these shall be devoured. You know, so we've been devoured by these devils and the Chinese and all these nations. You know, and they all took it on the vibration of the so-called white man. The way they dress, they deal with business, everything has been Edomitized. You know. Okay, so I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, the sword, and pursuant to Isaiah 27 chapter. The Lord said He's gonna bring His great powerful sword, His great mighty sword against the Leviathan, the piercing crooked serpent that's in the midst of the sea, you know, in the midst of the people. But He's the prince of tyrants that sit in the midst of the people, you know. So Isaiah 27:1, in that day the Lord with His great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and He shall slay the dragon that's in the sea. In that day sing ye unto her a vineyard of red wine, that's bloodshed. Pursuing Isaiah 6:3 chapter. The Lord said He's gonna press the wine press and eat them. He's gonna come with dye garment for Basra. I will press the wine press alone, meaning the Lord is gonna bring the destruction, the bloodshed. These so-called white people, these devils that's living in luxury. They live in the lap of luxury, man. You know, why you so-called Negroes, land tribes are suffering. You're suffering impoverished conditions in your native countries, in the Caribbean, different islands, nations, and even here, Judah is suffering. They built this country along with Issachar and Gad, Reuben. But then here comes along Asher and these different tribes, Zebulun, and now they're all suffering. The Lord said that Ephraim and Judah was in subject under Babylon, you know, under captivity here together. They served out their captivities. Jeremiah the 50th chapter. So Isaiah 27:3, I Yahweh Shemashai do keep it. I will water it every moment, lest any hurt it, and I will keep it night and day. Fury is not in me. Who has set the briars and thorn against me in battle? I will go through them, and I will burn them together. Oh, let him take hold of my strength, that he may make peace with me, and he shall make peace with me. He shall cause them that come out of Jacob to take root, and Israel shall bless and bud, and fill the face of the world with fruit. That's right. The world's not filled with fruit, man, because you got this devil ruling. He done turned this place into a concrete jungle. You only see like a little bit of trees here and there. You see concrete jungle, then you see a couple trees right there. You know, but everything has been made to the so-called white man's image, which is like a robotic, you know, kingdom with little life in it. You know, a lot of gray, a lot of just corporate greed. You know, when you look at the world, it's just corporate greed, buildings with so-called white man face on it. You know, but they look for they tell you that it's green. You know, they care about the earth and all this, but at the end of the day, all they care about is their dollars. You know, they didn't turn the earth gray so they can fill their pockets with their little green, you know, FRNs. But now they're going to transition into the digital system, which would be the beast system, where they're gonna have the world worshiping the beast in his image, because everything revolves around the main prophecy, which is the microseahip, which death comes in threes, like Fabulous said. You know, death comes in threes, death to the competition. But here it is. Now it's gonna come. The third woe, which, you know, two woes, and the third coming quickly. During the second World War, that's when America was at its peak. Now the Most High has brought it down because we're entering into the third woe. So the Most High is bringing this place down, you know, because we're in the midst of the third woe, in the midst of the third war's war. You know, the war to end our wars. Armageddon, which is Harmageddon, which is the mountain of troops, which the Lord's gathering the troops. Joel 3rd chapter. Let's get that. I'll come back to this, but Joel chapter 3 and verse 1, it says, for behold, in those days and in that time shall I bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. And I will also gather all nations, and I will bring them down into the valley of Yehoshaphat. And will plead with them for my people Israel, because the third world war is for the people of Israel, really, for the true people that's on that side. You know? Not for them gutter rats or any other nation. You know, the war to end all wars is on behalf of the Israelites. Everybody's fighting amongst themselves, the heathen raging, imagining the vain thing. They're fighting amongst themselves because the Most High put it in their hearts so that the end will come, you know. So that the Lord said, if He wouldn't shorten the days, that the elect will not be saved. So the elect is going to be saved because of the shortened days, man. You know, the Lord's bringing in the end of this society, the end of the so-called white man's rule. All right. So Joel 3 and 2, I will also gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Yehoshaphat, and will feed them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nations and part of my land. They have cast lots for my people. Yeah, look at the land. Look at the land of look at the Lord's people, and look at the land itself over there in you know, the First High Crescent. The land is totally parted, man. You know, you got the Houthis over there, you got Iran, you got all the nations, man, fighting over the land. Palestine, Gaza, the West Bank, all that is a bloody, divided land, you know, which has no peace, because the scriptures say when the Lord's people will come into the land, that it will be nothing but peace in the land. So if the Lord's people was there, they will have nothing but peace. So that's another indicating factor that those are not the people. Those are imposters. Those would be considered the bastard that should dwell in Ashdod. In Zechariah 9 and 6. You know, a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod and over Edom. Oh, that's in Psalm 6 chapter. I'm going ahead, but Zechariah 9 and 6, man, it says that a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, man. So these devils will be considered those bastards that the Lord is not dealing with. That are imposters, you know. So Joel 3 and 3, they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine. Yeah. They gave you into slavery and sold you as a whore, as a young woman. You know what I'm saying? They sell you out to whoredom through the music, through the Cardi B's and Nicki Minaj's and Sexy Reds and Glorillas. And back in the days, Diana Ross and all these other, you know, here it is, they all put you on a whoredom. You know, Whitney Houston, they got you getting with another, they got you switching men and doing all this shit, you know. Even though, you know, they was good singers and stuff like that, but they was all transitioning Jake into whoredom until you see this day. So they sold you into whoredom so that they would have all this. They sold a boy for a harlot and a girl for wine. Like, you know, here it is now, so they can have all this, so they could be the rulers of the earth. You know, so they could flex their money in your face. You know, but you're the original kings. You know, the Lord's people, the original kings and priests of the earth. You know, the royalty. All right, so it says, 4th verse, yeah, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? If ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, I will return your recompense upon your own head, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, that's my precious jewels. Which the Lord said he's going to make up his precious jewels, you know, before his return. That's what he's doing with his elect, you know, but you took the Lord's precious jewels and put them in slavery, you know. So now you got paid hardcore bondage. You're gonna drink the dregs of the cup. You're gonna be given double for the trouble that you've inflicted on the 12 tribes of Israel, man. You know, which would be the chosen. All right. So it says, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, the children also of Judah and children of Jerusalem, ye have sold unto the Grecians, that ye may remove them far from their border. That's right, so that you may take them far from their lands, you know, pursuant to Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, which says that we will go into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof the Lord spoke unto us, you know, and told us that that's what we were That's what we have to go through. We have to go through the bondage of slavery and go to our enemies for the one of all things. That's why we don't have no future, because at the end of the day, you're always going to be subject to a so-called white man devil, you know. No matter how far you reach in this society, you're going to be subject onto a devil, you know. Subject to a devil that's never going to let you surpass him in this society. That's why he's doing what he's doing to Diddy, you know. Diddy got too big for his britches, you know. He was working for them so-called white people, you know, them Jews, them devils, you know, whichever one of them organizations he was working for. But he was a big-time player, you know. So they came to get his ass just like they're going to come get Jay-Z and the rest of these devils. They're going to come get the rest of you sellouts, because there's no dealing with the devil. You make a deal with the devil, and now you're going to get got, because the Most High, he said, who will come nigh to a serpent? Who will pity him that come nigh the wild beast? Matter of fact, Sirach 12, I'll come back to this. Now I got to go back to Isaiah 27 chapter. So Sirach 12 in verse 11, though he 10, never trust thy enemy, for as iron rests, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself, go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rest have not altogether been wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest he, when he overthrow thee, he stand up in that place. That's right. That's what the devil did to Gad and them when they came here. They set him by him, and then he hit you with what he did in the movie, the flower or the child of the flower moon. I should say. You know, that's how he gonna supplant you. That's how this devil does it. Because he's a deceiver. He gonna try to one up you, because he knows who we are as people. So he tried to take the birthright back, you know. Sirach 12 and verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in that place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand. That's why the so-called white man, he's not gonna be with us in the kingdom, because let's set him not by thy right hand. You can't have a devil, you know, next to you, ruler in the kingdom, or he gonna have to be under your feet as a slave. That's why the scripture speak about captivity to the nations, because that's how a kingdom works. Only one nation is ruling, just like the rest of the kingdoms before you. You know, you always had a servant class of people. You know, in our kingdom, that would be the rest of the nations, 17 other nations, man. They will all be under our feet. So let's say he will subdue our enemies under our feet, you know. Okay, so it says 12 verse, and he stand up in that place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he take thy seat away. Thou at the last remember my words to be pricked therewith. Yeah, because like when your dad tell you something and then you don't do it, you prick with his words. You're like, oh shit, you know, I should have listened, I should have did this, I should have did that, you know. You end up getting pricked with the words. That's why I should say gesturing, wax fat, and kick. You know, they get proud, they do what they want to do, you know. But then the Most High, you know, ends up pricking them with his words, you know. 13 verse. Sirach 12 and verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that's been with a serpent, or any such come nigh a wild beast? Who will pity a charmer that's come near that so-called white man? All right. So one that go up to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity him? All right. For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to overthrow thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. That's right. So he'll cry with you, you know. BLM. That's why he set up BLM. That's why you see these devils over there protesting with BLM and stuff like that. And that's an insult, man. You know, these are the same devils that the Lord told you that their bones are filled with their sin of their youth. You know, they don't give a damn. A couple niggas die. You know, a couple so-called black men die. You know, they actually want that. They want you to get shot by the cops. They rejoice, but they'll weep with you. Matter of fact, read again. An enemy, Sirach 12 and 16. An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So These devils, they could cry all they want with you, you know, as BLM and you know, they could hold up signs. Even to this day, like last week or the week before that, I think I drove by, and one of these churches, they had a bunch of devils. They was holding up BLM signs, you know, they was holding up the signs, you know, and still to this day, it was white people. They don't want to know Jake. Jake don't even they care about BLM. That's a, you know, that was a whole marketing campaign built by Esau in one of their CIA groups or one of these psyops that they do, psychological operations on the people. You know, so that's why the Lord told us, 2 Corinthians 2:11, we're not ignorant to the devil's devices, so-called white man's devices that he uses, which will be his psychological operations that he enacts on the public. That's why he's that crooked serpent that rules in the midst of the sea. But the Lord said he's gonna pierce this devil, pursuing to Isaiah 27:1. All right, he's gonna pierce this goddamn devil, you know, because of his continual oppressive rule over the people. You know, the Lord said because he didn't hate violence, violence shall pursue him. You know, he didn't hate blood, blood shall pursue him. You know, the blood of the innocent, which would be the elect of Israel, that would be considered the innocent, which he said he shed by the force of the sword. You know, Joel 3 and verse going back to Joel 3 and verse 7, it says, "Behold, I will raise them out their place, whither you have sold them, and I will return your recompense upon your own head." That's this devil getting that sword upon him. You know, this devil gonna get that sword. You know, and the Lord gonna bathe his sword. Ezekiel 35, which I'll go to that in a minute. He's gonna bathe his sword, and he's gonna come down upon Idumea, the people of my curse, the people of the Most High's curse. He gonna let the Zechariah 5th chapter. He gonna let the curse come into the house of the thief, which they're already here. That's him that stealeth. Matter of fact, Joel 3, I'm gonna leave it and then come back again. Zechariah chapter 5 verse 1. "And then I turned and lifted my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying robe. And he said unto me, What seest thou? I answered, and I said, A flying robe, and the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. And then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth the face of the whole earth." That's, yeah, when this so-called white man pilot sees the ship, when he sees one of the ships, you know, that's up there, they're terrified. You know, they know that's the angels. They know that that's a threat. They know that they can't defeat such a technology. You know, and the ships, they end up playing games with them. Even they tell you, you know, that they do all kind of impossible maneuvers. You know, they disappear, reappear, just to fuck with these devils, because the Most High got a sense of humor. So he'll give the directive to the angels to start like messing with these devils. That's why it says that this is the curse that goes before the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off on this side. That's the so-called white man. According to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off on that side according to it. And I'll bring forth, saith the Most High of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. That's this America's the main house of the thief. Because this is where he stole the people on the sign and brought them here to serve servitude, slavery, captivity. You know, or to this day, we're yet this day in our captivity. Baruch 3 and 8, we're yet this day in our captivity, where I have scattered us to a curse and reproach. You know. So it says, it shall enter into the house of the thief, Zechariah 5 and 4, and into the house of him that swear falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house. I shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. All right. So yeah, back in Joel 3 and verse 8, it says, "And I will sell your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and I will sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it." Yeah. So their little daughters gonna be our concubines, man. You know, they're gonna be taken as a possession, a spoil of war, man. Okay, because that's a reward of defeating your enemies. You take their daughters in captivity, and you take their sons as servants, and you kill off the men, so they won't be able to rise up against you. You know, that's why he took the man out of the house, because he was fighting warfare against you tribes. When he did that to you, that's why the Lord told you a nation that's destroyed, because you ain't got no men in your house. You ain't got no real men. Your men have been turned to feminine queers. like Bad Bunnies, and Jonathan Majors, which, they're talented good dudes, but they're totally sold out with no spine, They totally promote the beast agenda and the beast philosophy, which is being a mo, and a free spirit. The spirit, the free spirit would be that spirit of do as thou wilt. Live a carefree life. Even if you're just a regular Jake in the world getting drunk every weekend, you just wasting your life. You just smoking your life away. Even if you're a Jake that's in the world trying to become something, you're not really in tune with the truth, with the Most High. Because we as a people that was a spiritual people before this, not a corporate people. So-called white man is a corporate people. They're a fucking corporate secular people. That's why the so-called white man created a secular society through the school system. All right, because everybody got to go to school, no matter what it is. You got to go to this white man Rockefeller school, which the Rockefeller is like the number 2 of the Jews, so-called Jew. Number 1 being the reptilians, the Rothschilds, man. They'll be number 1, quote unquote, on this side. The Amalek got about, what they call 13 families, but, according to what they tell you, the bloodlines of the quote unquote Illuminati, right? But it goes, it may be more, maybe less, but those are the main 2, the big players, and then they have other families, DuPont, but they're all part of Amalek, the seed line, of the so-called white man, which the Lord said He will have war from generation to generation, which Numbers 24th chapter. And the 17th verse, 15th verse. And he took this parable and said unto Balaam, the son of Beor, the man whose eyes are open, have said this. He said, which heard the words of the Most High and knew the knowledge of the Most High power, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, opening his eyes. And I shall see him, but not now. And I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Seth. And Edom shall be a possession, and Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies. And Israel shall do valiantly. That's right. So these Edomites going to be a possession for the bittern. They're going to be a possession for the children of Israel, man. Edom, as the elders said back in the day, when you watch the old school videos when they were like in the 90s, you devil, I get mad when you devils. Ariel was like, you get mad when you devils are not in chains, man. You see these devils came to the door right here? These devils right here. There was some 2 little uppity devils. You can tell they had a nice little job and shit like that. They come from money. They thought that this place was open, but it's closed on Mondays, which I didn't even know. But they're not gonna be able to walk around here prancing around being highfalutin in them days. They're gonna be a servant, They have their face bowed to the earth. Pursuant to Isaiah 49th chapter. They're gonna have their face glued to the earth, licking up the dust of your feet, man. So it says, Edom shall be, actually 17th verse again, because that shit was mad loud. I was trying to read this. It says, there shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy the children of Sheph. And Edom shall be a possession, and Seir shall be a possession for his enemies. And Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have a dominion, and shall destroy him that remain out the city. That's right. That's the sword. And he looked upon Amalek and took this parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he shall perish forever. And he looked on the Canaanites, or Kenites, and took this parable and said, strong is thy dwelling place, and thou puttest thy nest in a rock. Nevertheless, the Kenites shall be wasted until Ashur shall carry thee away into captivity. So Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And the Lord going to blot out his remembrance. But Edom shall be a possession, and Seir also a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly when in the day of the Lord, which is going to come as a thief in the night, when these people are in their security. These people are in their security. The Lord's gonna bring the end, just like the first flood. You know, the Lord's gonna bring that end, man. But Deuteronomy 25 and verse 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way. Remember what these small hatters did to us. You know, it says, when ye come out of Egypt, when you come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way and smote the hindest most of thee when we were feeble back behind thee, when all that were feeble behind thee. When thou was faint and weary, he feared not the Most High. Therefore it shall be when the Lord Yahweh by Simeon shall have given thee rest from all thy enemies round about, and in the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, and thou shalt not forget it. Yeah, so we're going to blot out this devil remembrance after the Third World War. After the Third World War, the devil's remembrance shall be blotted out. But there's going to be no end to the nation of Israel. So in Isaiah 45 and 17, there'll be no end. You know, a world without end. A true kingdom. Everlasting kingdom. Not like this place, which is finite. This place is finite, you know. This place has a expiration date on it, you know, which only the Lord knows. He said, no man knoweth the day nor the hour when the Son of Man cometh, right? Yeah, Matthew 24 and verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. And as the days of Noah, so shall be the coming of the Son of Man be. As for in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall be the coming of the Son of Man. There shall be two in the field, and one taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at mill, and the other one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doeth come. But notice that if the good man of the house had known and would watch, the thief will come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready. For in such an hour as you think it not, the Son of Man cometh. That's right. So in such an hour that one think it not, that's when the Lord comes. As a thief at night with the sword, to cut asunder. The first cut is the deepest, like the song says, you know. So the Lord's gonna come with the first cut. He's gonna strike first blood on this so-called white man, you know, on this devil and his nation. You know, the Lord's gonna inflict first cut, you know, the first cut. So as in the days of Noah, so shall it be. But the 36th verse, no man knoweth the day nor the hour, only the Father. All right. So that's why I said, watch, prepare, because the time is at hand, you know. And how you know? Because of the signs. You shall see the wars, rumors of wars. You're gonna see famine. You're gonna see bloodshed. Okay, you're gonna see these calamities on the economic fronts. All right. Here it is. You got the squeeze going on. You got the strikes, people striking, the loss of jobs. And then the mirth of the spirit of the place, the quality of everything falling, you know, the quality of these women, the quality of these men, the quality of the food, which is defiled amongst the Gentiles, Ezekiel 4 and 13, and just the overall life quality everywhere you go. Standard of living is just falling off a cliff because so-called white man has brought in the New World Order. This is the initial stages of the New World Order, which now you got digital IDs coming. Over here in Mass, they got digital ID laws, which it's called Mass Real ID, which you're gonna have to take by 2025. You got to get a real ID, and then comes the micro chip, which is like the end all, the be all. But that's what everything revolves around, the micro chip right now. The micro chip, which World War III is right next to it, you know, because in the midst of World War III, that's when the Lord's gonna come bring that sword. But that sword can't come until the Lord Yahweh brings that through the Spirit of the Lord brings that That micro sihir. The Lord can't come. Yahushua can't come until that sihir is established. You know. So all these dudes talking about the the Bible and everything, they're not talking about the sihir, which is a biblical, which is a landmark, if you will, of prophecy, because that's everything has to revolve around that particular prophecy. No man shall buy and sell. You know, that's how you know that the Lord is right around the corner. Once they put that, the Lord is gonna come swiftly as a thief in the night. But right now we're watching because of all the events that's taking place in the Middle East, in Europe, and America. All hells could break loose at any time because these people are on edge. These people are starved, they're overworked, underpaid, and depressed. So that creates a dangerous situation for society because the people are desperate for food and desperate for shelter. They're not being taken care of in terms of their basic needs, man. Which that's pursuant to Sirach 10th chapter. You know, the ruler of the people, so is the city. So this so-called white man is a greedy pig devil, which don't care about you. So he's not really take care of his veterans. He don't take care of his veterans. They come back here all destroyed, hands blooded, missing one hand, eye, leg, and they gotta they don't have to take care of. They gotta be homeless, and things of that nature. So that's how he feels about you. Oh, he gave $750 to the Florida victims of the Hurricane Helene, Helene, Helena, or Helene. And then he sends $8 billion of relief to Ukrainians. He sends $8 billion. That's an insult, to add insult to injury. He barely helps you by way of FEMA, and then he gonna have the nerve to simultaneously aid a foreign country when you're a so-called citizen of his land, right? But that's the so-called white man for you, He hides behind Kamala Harris and these different guys, Biden and Trump, which we believe is Nero, which we know he's Nero, but we understand that these guys are frontmen, puppets. They even show you that when you play that game, Assassin's Creed. I think it was Odyssey, or was it? It was Odyssey, but then it was also the other one. I was about to say Black Flag. No, it's it's Odyssey, and then there was the one after it. It was Origins of Odyssey. I know it was two O's. And they had you taking down like the hidden hand on the left hand side, and until you got to the Illuminati main boss, But it wasn't the actual emperors and presidents that was running shit. It was the hidden hand behind the scenes, But anyways, they put everything in plain sight, because that's the way this so-called white man works. He copies the Most High on the left hand side, which the Most High does revealing of the method too. How do he do it? By way of the prophets. He reveals things. He said before it came to fruition, I tell you of them. Isaiah 42:9, but also Isaiah 55:11. Let's get that too. So he reveals what he's about to do before he does it. So shall my word, Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Okay, so Isaiah 42:9 as well. Let me read that too. It says, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things I do declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Right? So before these things spring forth, the Lord tells you of them by way of his men. Hosea 12:10. I multiply visions and similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. So it says 10 verse, sing unto the Lord a new song, which would be the things that's going to happen before they happen. Like when Noah was out there, he was singing a new song. When Moses and them, they were singing the song Moses. They were singing deliverance of Exodus, the Exodus of us out of Egypt. And then now we're seeing the new Exodus of us out of here, out of America, which is the new Egypt, the new house of bondage, the number one place of bondage. Okay, so Isaiah 42 and verse 10. Sing unto the Lord a new song, his praise from the end of the earth. We're in the end of the earth. This is the end of the earth. Cause it don't get much worse than this for Jake, you know. Of course, you know, they're gonna say, oh, the third world country. America's gonna be a third world country pretty soon. You know. It's just that the riches of this place have been, you know, misused, you know, to create this society where you at the bottom. But, you know, if it was us ruling this place would be totally different. But anyways, it says, ye that go down to the sea and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof. And the Lord said he will punish Leviathan, the crooked serpent that's in the midst of the sea. All right. Let the wilderness and the cities thereof lift up their voice, the villages that Kedar doeth inhabit. Let the inhabitants of the rock sing. Let them shout from the top of the mountains. Let them give glory unto the Most High and declare his praise in the islands. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man, and shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. And when he prevail against the enemy, he's going to subdue us under our feet. He's going to subdue them under our feet. You know, where you ain't got to take no orders from these devils no more. Check in, clock in for work, do this, do that, pay their bills, be subject to payments. You know, so-called white man, his favor gonna be taken from him. Let favor be shown to the wicked, Isaiah 56. Jump over there. It says, oh no. Take it somewhere else. Isaiah 26, not 56. Isaiah 26 and verse 10, it says, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet he will not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness, he will deal unjustly. That's what he's doing in the land of Israel. He's dealing unjustly. And will not behold the majesty of the Most High Yahweh. By Shemi outside, Lord, when thy hands lifted up, they will not see it. But they shall see and be ashamed for the envy at the people on this sign. They'll be ashamed for the envy that they have for the people on this sign. Yeah, the fire of thy enemies shall devour them. The fire of thy enemies shall devour them. You know. So Lord, thou wilt, if thou wilt, thou wilt ordain peace for us, for thou hast wrought all our works in us. O Lord, Yahweh Bashem Ashai, other lords besides thee have had dominion over us, but by thee only will we make mention of thy name. All right, it's kind of raining a little bit, so our phone gets too wet, but yeah, only by thee will we have dominion. You know, Isaiah 26 and verse 12. O Lord, thou, if thou wilt, thou wilt ordain peace for us, for thou also hast wrought all our works in us. O Lord, other lords besides thee have had dominion over us, but by thy only will we will make mention of thy name. They are dead, they shall not live. They are deceased, they shall not rise. When a so-called white man, for anyone that, you know, says, oh, they're going to come back into power and all this, the Lord said, they are deceased, they shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them and made all their memories to perish. That's right, you're going to blot out the remembrance Amalek from under heaven. Deuteronomy 25 and 19. You know, you're going to blot out their remembrance from under the heavens. You know, it says 15 verse. Thou hast increased the nation, the 12, increased the 12 tribes of Israel. O Lord, thou hast increased the nation, thou art glorified, thou hast removed it far from all the ends of the earth. Lord, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastising was upon them, like a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery. That's right. The Lord said, and I will go to my place until they acknowledge their offense and their affliction, they will seek me early. So in their trouble, they have visited thee. They poured out a prayer when they had chastening was upon them, like a woman with child that draw her time near of her delivery. Is in pain and crieth out her pain, so we have been in thy sight, O Lord. We have been with child, we have been in pain. We have as it were brought forth wind. We have not wrought any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. Thy dead men shall live together with my dead body, shall they rise and awake and sing, ye that dwell in the dust, in confusion. Right? Because that's what we're doing, singing. And for thy dew is as the dew of the herbs, and the earth shall cast out their dead. Come, my people, enter down to thy chambers, that the ships, and shut thy doors about thee when this place is destroyed. No more seaports, marinas, you know, Beverly Hills, New York, Big Apple, or, you know, no more, you know, Pompano Beach, you know, no more Miami, South Beach. no more Galveston, Texas and shit. You know. So that's when the Lord said gonna come. As he destroying this place, he's gonna tell us to enter into the chamber. How he's gonna do it? By beaming you up. He ain't gonna ask you, you wanna come? He's gonna beam you up, you know, like a Star Trek movie. And shut thy doors about thee, and hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. For behold, the Most High cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity with the sword. The earth shall also disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. So the earth is disclosing her blood, because the Lord, he got the angels holding back the four winds of destruction. So while this devil is eating, and the end of his new world order, the Lord gonna tell the angels bring that destruction, hold back the winds of destruction, which are the nuclear winds. Okay, because you're gonna put it in the minds of these devils to destroy themselves. The heart of the kings in the hands of the Most High, and he turned it whithersoever he will. That's in Daniel 4:12, which matter of fact is get it. And also in Proverbs, Daniel. No, not the 12 verse. 4, 17. My bad. 16. It says, "Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him." That's what the Lord did to Nebuchadnezzar. 17 verse. "This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and set it over the base of men." So he turned the heart of the king whithersoever he will. He rules in the kingdom of men, and he's going to put in the heart of these devils to destroy themselves and their society. He's going to put in the heart of the king, just like he hardened Pharaoh's heart back in Egypt before we exited out of that place. You know, he put in his heart to not let us go. You know, so he gonna put his heart to put us back in that old. He gonna put it in his devil's heart to have that old demonic hatred towards you, and show his horns to where the Most High is gonna be justified in destroying him. God, that's when the Lord's gonna lift up his standard against this devil. That's when the Lord's going to lift that standard against the devil and bring about his end, you know, his much awaited end, his much deserved end. You know? All right, but back in Joel, oh no, it turned the heart of the king. My bad, I gotta get that for the heart of the king. Yeah, Proverbs 21. My bad. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Most High, and as the rivers of water, he turn it whithersoever he will. Every way of man is right in his own eyes. The so-called white man, he thinks he's right in his own eyes by putting you in slavery. He thinks he's justified in doing such thing because he said that, you know, look, they've transgressed against their power. You know, the ancient high places are ours in possession. Ezekiel 36. You know, so they feel justified in doing what they're doing to you. You know, oppressing you, calling you niggas and shit, calling you low income, you know, that they feel themselves justified. They feel like they're doing something righteous, which in part they are, because the Most High, you know, the Lord told you that a wicked man understands not judgment. The Most High is judging us through them, you know. But at the end of the day, they're also going off because they're out of order, because they did too much. The Lord said, "I was a little displeased," but they helped forward their affliction. They helped forward our afflictions, man. In captivity, we were under the curse, and these devils came and intensified the curses, you know. So every way of man is right in his own eyes, but the Most High pondereth the hearts. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable than the Lord to sacrifice. A high look and a proud heart, and the plowing of the wicked is sin. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but everyone that is hasty only to want. The getting of treasure by a lying tongue. So-called white man built this place by a lying tongue. Is vanity tossed to and fro, and then they seek death. The robbery of the wicked shall destroy them, because they refuse to do judgment. They refuse to give you your reparations, right? They never give you. They talk about, we're trying to help you and this and that. They're never going to help you. They're never going to give you back what's yours. They never gave you no 40 acres and no mule. They never gave you nothing. The robbery of the wicked shall destroy them because they refuse to do judgment. And most of our people have given up their hope. You know, when they see you out there teaching and talking about the so-called white man, this and that, they're just like, yeah, just stop, man. We never gonna do nothing. You know, they're like, we heard this all forever. That's what they be talking about. You know, because they're so defeated. A nigga is defeated, man. That's why the Lord, he's left behind a remnant that's not defeated. A remnant, according to grace, man. Because he said 7,000 men that not bow the knee to the image of all. The majority of our people, starting with the men, are just defeated, man. They don't see no way out. They got no hope. The Lord told you you're prisoners of hope. Okay, look at them. They're just like, they're just resigned to the fact that the white man's going to continue to rule, and they're just resigned to that fact. That's what he did. He wore out the saints of the Most High. It says in Daniel 7 and 25, he will seek out to change times and laws and to wear out the saints of the Most High, man. So he done worn out these people, man, but not the elect. The elect said will not be deceived. These people are deceived because they're defeated because they don't have no hope. They don't see the tongue. They're blind. Their eyes are blinded. Romans the 11th chapter. It says Israel have not obtained that which he's seeking for. The election have obtained it. The rest were blinded. That's why they get disenchanted. They leave the truth. They go back to the world. They believe in, you know, their degrees and shit, which they end up failing them. You know, the Lord said, "Cursed be the man trust an arm, make it flesh his arm." In Jeremiah 17th chapter, you know, around about the 5th verse on down. So, cursed be the man that make it flesh his arm. Everything in this place futile. That's why the Lord told you to stack up your treasures in heaven. This place is about to be destroyed. The Lord is going to bring His sword on this place, man. And these people that have loathed the Lord's liberty, loathed His law while they yet had liberty, you know. Okay, so back in Joel 3, gotta go back. And cause when we was at the camp on Saturday, you know, we didn't really get to go through all of it. Me and the elder brother. So Joel 3 and verse 9 said, "Proclaim ye this." I think we only got to like 9th verse. "Proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war. Prepare war and wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of the war draw near. Let them come up. And beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. And let the weak say, I'm strong." Yeah, that's the nations are saying now they're strong because they got the equalizer. Like the other apostle had said, the equalizer, the missile. You know. "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Tether cause thy mighty ones to come down." They're going to send all their special forces and troops and all that. That's their mighty ones. You know, they're the best of their armies. The most advanced, you know, technology, which are the missiles. You know, the best helicopters, Navy. You know, go surround the Persian Gulf and all that. You know, it says 12th verse, "Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, the wickedness is great." That's right. The fats overflow and the wickedness is great at this place. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the Lord, the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. For the Most High Yahweh by Shem Yahshai also shall roar out of Zion as a mighty man war, right? And utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake away. But the Most High Yahweh by Shem shall be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. So you shall know that I am the Lord your God, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. And then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. Yeah, so no strangers building up, you know, massive buildings in the name of corporate interest and greed and exploitation. All right, because that's all these cities are built on exploitation of the tribes. You know, all the San Diego, all these places, these major tech Silicon Valley places. You know, which Texas has become the new Silicon Valley. All these companies moving out there, building their gigafactories and shit. Um, so all these places are built on exploitation of the tribes. You know, all these companies, Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, Google, all of it is built on exploitation of you tribes. You know, McDonald's, you know, they feeding you your own children to yourselves with the McRib. They got Israelite kids in there. That's why it's so addictive. They got their Israelite blood on it. You know, they put all kind of shit in them foods, make you bugged out. So it's built on those are the main people that shop there. Those are the main people that work there, and those are the main people that consume the so-called white man society. Like that brother from the main camp has said. I forget the brother's name. Elder brother, he knows him more than I do. But like he had said, he had told me when I had met him, you know, he wrote that book, A Day Without Black People, and he published the book. So, you know, without the people on the sign, this place would fall because there's nobody to consume their goods and produce their goods. You know, with these devils, just like Rome was built by the so-called black Latinos back then. It's the same condition now. This place, all these boats and everything they see before them, you know, and all these buildings, shit. They're the one. Jake is the one that cleans them, makes sure that everything's good, builds the infrastructure inside of them. You know, they're the ones that's doing the heavy lifting for this kingdom to be what it is. That's why I said in Ezekiel 39:14, we're gonna 7 men of continual employment to build up our kingdom, man. To clear the bodies of, you know, clear the debris after the wars. You know, to build up the streets of gold. Tobit 13 chapter, golden streets, man. Who gonna put them golden streets up there? So-called white man, through his hard work and labor. The so-called white man is gonna build up the kingdom. He ain't gonna be building no more skyscrapers, and you know, he ain't gonna be building no more weapons. The Lord said the nation gonna beat their plowshares into pruning hooks, and their swords into you know, instruments of agriculture. You know, so these devils gonna actually be used for what their proper use is. See, the so-called white man is a base man, but he's not a dumbass. He's good at serving. He's good at picking rocks. That's why he's called a Caucasian. The so-called white man is good at what he's built to do, which is build these type of buildings right here. But he's gonna build up our kingdom. So he's gonna be used in its proper context. It does, as the scripture says, Israel is not a homeborn slave. We're not supposed to be used for cleaning toilets and, you know, dancing, singing. Yes, the scripture do tell you in Psalms 137, sing us one of the songs of Babylon. They that carried us away captive, sing us one of the songs by the rivers of Babylon. It says, sing us one of the songs of Zion. Yes, Jake is a good singer and dancer, but Jake is also a guide on the earth. So really, their job is to rule the planet Earth, not to be a homeborn slave. Why is he spoiled? So Esau, that's why the Lord told you in the 50th chapter of Psalms, why hast thou to declare my statutes, that thou shalt take my word in thy mouth, seeing that thou despise the word of the Most High and cast it behind you. That's why you devils call yourselves the Christians and the pastors in the church and the pedophiles. You're the pedophiles, you know. You're really the pedophiles. You're not the Pope. You're not the real Pope church fathers. You're not the Pope. Word Pope means church father. Okay, they're not the real church fathers. We're the church fathers. All right, starting with the Abba Bivens and all the brothers, the elders and the apostles, and you know, those are the church fathers, man. You know, going all the way down to you brothers that's of the elect, because y'all brethren. At the end of the day, y'all comprise the body of the prophets. Whether you call yourself one camp or another, if you're of the elect, that would be the governing body. So the so-called white man, he calls himself the Pope. And all this, he's taking the word of the Most High onto himself, which doesn't apply to him. So that's his job right there, picking rocks. You see, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to pick rocks right there. That's a spirit. That's a spirit. See, that devil. You see, he brought a bunch of rocks in his little. You know, that's how. Well, in the kingdom, you know, we'll see how they do it with their hands, or however we're gonna have them. You know, like Star Wars, they had like, you know, floating little crates and stuff. You know. But we'll see how these devils going to build up our kingdom. But in due time, we're going to see them picking rocks and doing all kinds of things on our behalf, man. You know, because the Lord said their kings shall be that nursing fathers and queens that nursing mothers. You know, So that was a beautiful sight, seeing that devil carrying them rocks to the site, because that's what they're gonna do. That's what they were built for, not to be walking around in Fendi and Chanel and be in the fashion houses of the world. Because the people who actually run them fashion houses is Jake. Like Pharrell is like the executive of Louis Vuitton. If it wasn't for the salt that Jake got, none of these companies would be relevant like that. Because Jake is the one, like the rappers and they're the ones that like put the people onto Mike Amiri and all this different shit. They're the ones that put people onto these high-end labels, fucking Bottega Veneta and all this stuff. It's Jake that really puts it on the map. It's Jake that really does the heavy lifting. So-called white man, nobody wants to be like that devil, man, because he don't have no flavor. He don't have nothing going on for himself. He never did. That's why he always hated you from the womb. He always hated you because you were superior to him. He's inferior, and the Most High is going to show he's inferior when he comes and delivers. And Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, is going to take place, where he's going to say that the righteous man stand great boldness before the face of such as afflict him. So the Lord is going to show that the Israelites are the superior people, on the face of the planet Earth, as he said in Deuteronomy 14:2 and Deuteronomy 7:6, man. Okay, so back in Joel 3 and verse 17, ye shall know that I am the Lord your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore, no more inferior devils. And it shall come to pass that in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters, and a fountain shall come forth out the house of the Lord. Yeah, we ain't gonna have no more drops, as a people. We're gonna be flowing rivers of living water inside of us, and the Lord gonna give us a land flowing with milk and honey. So it says, and fountains shall come forth out of the house of the Lord, and shall water the valley of Shittim. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever in Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion. That's right. For I will cleanse their blood I have not cleansed. The Lord dwelleth in Zion. But the blood can't be cleansed except the blood of him that sheddeth be shed first and foremost. All right. Or Numbers 35th chapter. All right. Numbers 35 and 33. It says, and I gotta go back to Ezekiel 35, which I said I was gonna read, but I didn't read it yet. 35, 32, and you shall take no 35 and 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. It says, defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for the Lord Yahweh Bashim shall dwell amongst the children of Israel. So the land cannot be shed but by the blood of him that shed it. So the Lord is going to cleanse that blood up, that our blood that he didn't cleanse before. Joel 3 and 21. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Most High Yahweh shall dwell in Zion. And as he dwells in Zion, he's going to revenge Zion. He's going to plead with these nations for my people, right? Joel 3 and 2. Ezekiel 35 and 1, and moreover the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Most High Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate, and I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred against and shed the children of blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood. Hey, why does it say at the end of their, at the time of their iniquity had an end? Because the last days started, when the Lord came on the scene, So we went into various captivities before then. So our iniquity had already been going on. We already been going into Egypt under the Cushites, so-called Africans, Mizraim. Then you had all these nations had us, the Persians, the Medes, you know what I'm saying, the Elamites, Ishmaelites, they all had us. So the time when our iniquity come in, and the last end, at the latter end, 2 Kings 6:9, Esau's the end of the world, Jacob's the beginning of their followers. At the latter end, here it is. At the end of it, Esau helped forward our affliction. No, that's how we know that we're at the end, and he would be the one ruling at the end, you know. So at the time they're in, you shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, when their iniquity had an end. So as we were coming in, he held forward our affliction to the most, you know. As we was coming towards the end, man, towards the end of our captivity, because Jake had to go into captivity many times, man, under all the nations. But the last captivity was the worst one under the so-called white man, you know, which is the devil. Right, so in the time that their iniquity had an end, therefore, as I live, said the Most High, I'll prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. And in thy hills and in thy valleys and all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. And I will make thee perpetual desolations. And thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Most High. So they not going to build no more. They ain't going to build. They ain't going to continue their little legacies. Lord going to blot out nephew, the remnant. You know, as it says in Isaiah 14th chapter. He's going to blot out their remembrance, nephew, their root.
There's the restaurant.
Their root and branch. Oh, it's closed today.
It's closed today?
Yeah, it's closed.
But on Monday's closed.
Yeah, Mondays, yeah.
I looked it up at 6.
Yeah, it was
Anyway.
to my chagrin, it was also closed. Yeah.
I swear to God I looked it up before it was closed.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe you looked up the other
Yeah.
MFA.
All right, so it said Ezekiel 35 and verse
Anyway.
9. It says, I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return, and you shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshai. Because thou hast said, these two nations, the 12 tribes, the northern and southern kingdom, because thou hast said, and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, said the Most High Yahweh by Shemeshai, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. I will make myself known amongst them when I have judged thee. That's when you know that the Lord is in the midst of his people. Thou shalt know that I am the Lord, that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, the people, the heads, all right? Because the Lord said he's going to stir up the children of Israel against thy sons, O Greece, the elect of the Lord against the elect of the elite of Edom. Because, you know, that's how it goes. Because they're going to be the first fruits of slavery, all right? You know, the Lord's going to raise up his elect aristocrats, you know, against the sons of Greece, you know. So it says 13 verse, thus with your mouth you have boasted against me and have multiplied your words against me, and I have heard them. Thus said the Lord, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. The whole earth is going to rejoice at the downfall of so-called white man, man. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house. I'm going to tell you in Proverbs 29:2, the people will rejoice when righteous are in authority. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate on Mount Seir and all Idumea, even all of it. They shall know that I am the Most High, Yahweh Shemeshai, thy power. All right. So Isaiah 27:1, it says, in that day, the Lord Yahweh Shemeshai, with his sword and great strong sword, shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent. He shall slay the dragon that's in the sea. In that day, sing ye unto her a vineyard of red. I, the Lord, do keep it and I'll water it every moment, lest any hurt it, and I will keep it 9 days. So the Lord's gonna keep us 9 days, and He's gonna pierce Leviathan, the crooked serpent. All right, He's gonna slay the dragon that's in the midst of the sea. So with that, say Kahalaim La Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakwadash. The ones to our teachers, apostle elders, and peace and taste to the Lord's elect. All right, the time of this devil, is at an end. All right, so with that, shalom. Shalom.